Hello guys and welcome back to TNT Madness. Today we are looking at everything about the new MadnessMC server. So because this will be a long video, the video will be split up into different sections with timestamps for each, which are on screen now and in the description below. Any other important information will be in the description as well. For anyone new, this is a brand new server. However, I have had over 18 months experience running another server up to a few months ago called TMFaction. Of that server, I have definitely made some mistakes and should have been more prepared for the worst. However, I wasn't and didn't have proper backups. I also wasn't the absolute best at running said server. However, with this server, I have spent over 100 hours over the past 6 weeks developing this server from scratch and have lots of plans for its future development. I should be able to fix most, if not all, server problems that arrive and will be a lot more professional about it, and most importantly, I'll be taking more steps to back up and maintain the server for optimal performance, as well as removing any duplicate glitches and keeping everything balanced. I have a new system and I plan on supporting this server non-stop until I go to university in 6 months, and even after that I will keep the server lively. Essentially, I plan on having this server going for at least a year and hopefully many more. I want this to be a proper community server where everyone playing doesn't have to worry about bugs, lag, hackers, or the server dying, and just focus on having fun. I truly mean that. All major server updates and important information will be on the MadnessMC website homepage, and if anything major changes, it will be reported there. The website is now fully functional, including the web store and forms. Also with the forms, I plan on writing several very detailed FAQs or frequently asked questions during the beta and during the first week of launch. A good example of this would be the current crate key FAQ on the forms, and a few I plan to write are viable money farms, differences in important perks in the ranks, basic PvP loadout guides, and a lot more. The private beta will start this Friday at 6 PM CST or Central Standard Time and will go until Wednesday morning after 3 or 4 AM. This beta is primarily to test the server's stability and allow me to find and fix any bugs for the official release. This will be a private beta because I only want to deal with civilized people and don't want to deal with hackers or degenerates while I'm still working on the server, and having a smaller group of people makes it easier to manage everything. Because this is a private beta, to get in you will need to buy a pass which will cost $2. To justify that price, you'll get a limited edition beta tag for the official release and lots of equipment. Since the beta is very short, only going for 5 days, there won't be any time to properly gather resources. So everyone will start with $1 million cash, the legendary blazing kit, 5 crate keys and 5 flaring crate keys. You also get the flaming PvP kit every 24 hours for PvP and coughs, which includes protection 4 armor, a sharpness 5 sword, and more. Also, you will be able to join ranked donors on release to join 30 minutes early than everyone else. Finally, to make this beta more interesting, the richest player or faction based on F-top will receive an Iron Golem spawner during launch, second will get $100,000, and third will get $10,000. 15 minutes after the beta goes live at 6:15 PM, there will be a major cough where the winner will receive some major prizes, and if you're fighting, you should be using your blazing PvP kit. Every 3 hours for the rest of the beta there will be active coughs, and during the next day on Saturday at 6 PM there will be a second major cough. During the final day on Wednesday at 3 AM to cater to Oceanian players, there will be a giant PvP fight where the objective is to kill the Ender Dragon, grab the egg and survive, or kill everyone. You'll be given PvP gear and blocks after you spawn, and everyone will have 2 lives. However, after you die you can still spectate. The winner will get the egg during the release as a trophy. I will be there for both major coughs and the Ender Dragon event, and I will likely be recording. I will be a lot on during the beta, especially during the first few days when it's the weekend, and even during the week when I have school I will be on just at night. During the beta, since there won't be many people, the overworld will only be 1000 by 1000 and the Nether and End will be disabled, so it's a more compact area to fight in. Also, I am currently the only one running the server, so I don't have any staff, and will be opening staff applications so I can find people to join the staff. Also, near the end of the beta I will release the official server trailer and will likely use footage from the beta in it. I hope to see you during the beta, it will be a ton of fun. The server will be officially released on the 16th during a Saturday at 6 PM Central Standard Time. Ranked donors and beta pass holders will be able to join the server 30 minutes early. This is to let the server take players in chunks instead of all in one go, which will help decrease lag and the likelihood of a crash on release from the huge flux of players. The IP is pvp.madnessmc.net and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there. I have a rough plan for the server's future development over this season and next season. However, everything I have planned for next season will be determined by the server's financial situation. Also, I want this server to be a proper community server where the community has a huge impact. So most gameplay decisions will come down to polls, and therefore this plan could vary based on what the majority of players want. For anyone that doesn't know, we lost all the files from TMFaction from a global cyber attack, and this includes the custom plugins and custom enchantments. So for the first season we won't have a custom enchantments plugin. However, if everyone wants them, I will get a developer to code a new custom enchantments plugin for next season. I want to keep this server balanced and less gimmicky, and some people think that gem buckets are a gimmick. However, to start with, for the first season, cobblestone gem buckets will be sold in the in-game store. I don't see anything wrong with them as they just speed up one of the most tedious jobs of base building. If there is too much backlash, I will do a poll and see if everyone wants them removed. Anyone who plays on a server just for the builds, you may be disappointed by ours in the first season. However, the spawn is custom built, just not the best. Next season, if there is enough money, I will get a proper build team to build a spectacular spawn, warzone and coughs. There are 3 worlds: the overworld with a world border of 10,000 by 10,000, the nether with a world border of 5,000, and the end with a world border of 2,000. To keep everyone on an even playing field and not allow people who join first to have an insane advantage, all the blaze spawners from the nether have been removed. The end has had its island removed and the bottom layer is bedrock, followed by 4 layers of endstone. This will finally allow people to consistently mine endstone, and because endstone is competitively priced, it can be a grindy way to farm for money and get MCMO levels for mining. Everyone will get a starter kit every 24 hours and have access to voting keys as a reward for voting. They are essentially a lower class crate key. If you are really into PvP, there will be coughs several times throughout the day and there will be good rewards. Since the warzone is just randomly generated land with some coughs on it, the warzone isn't interesting enough or flat enough to have drops that people fight for. For next season we will likely have a proper custom built warzone so we can do this. I'm going to talk about the commands and perks every player gets and gameplay mechanics. As far as general perks and plugins go, there's an economy, MCMO, a trade me plugin, ability to store money in banknotes, 4 auction house sell slots, teleports, warps, homes, starter kits and a lot more. Everyone gets the ability to set 2 homes. For factions these days, it's essential to have a minimum of 2 homes. It gives you easy access to your basics, being your vault, your raid spot and your faction's home. For when you're raiding, TNT and creeper eggs currently have a 50% chance to destroy a spawner, and because in most situations you won't be able to use it for raiding, the ability to silk touch spawners is a perk you get from the magma rank. For any cannoners, the AC-130 roof busters have been disabled as TNT can't explode above 256 blocks. Everyone gets 20 faction power, and for your faction base, the maximum buffer size is limited to 20 chunks with a maximum area of 800 land. This includes using allies or alt factions. There are only allowed to be 20 people in any faction. This is so we can still keep factions competitive on our relatively small server. More details about the faction rules will be in the official rules once the full version comes out. This is going to be my story of what's happened since the end of TMFactions and the start of MadnessMC, as well as my development process. Essentially, after TMFactions closed, most of the staff left, which is fine. We didn't know if we were even going to have a new server up. About 7 weeks ago, I started working on development for this server with Zoe and Carter being the old owner and guy who primarily ran the back end of TMFactions. We had a disagreement and in the past have had some miscommunications, which has resulted in me running this server alone. We're still good friends and he is a very talented server administrator, however it just means he won't be coming back and I won't be forcing him to come back either, as he told me running the server gave him a lot of stress. This is fair enough, and we did have a lot of problems with hackers and staff who tried to ruin the server. I also had a lot of frustration with the staff sometimes, and I would bring in new people and giving them such high jobs straight away was a horrible idea. I've learned from my past and just want to thank the staff team and especially Coder for sticking with me for 18 months. I surprisingly did learn a lot about factions and running a server in Coder, which will be great for running this server. After Carter left, the main issue was that I'd already put a lot of money into development, purchasing the server and a dev for the website. Because of this, I have had to continue developing the server anyway. I really am in way over my head with this project, and what should have taken me 2 weeks with 3 people has taken me 6 with over 100 plus hours. I wasn't as experienced with servers as Carter, and since I am running Minecraft on a proper bare bones Linux server, I had a lot to learn and set up. I had what was probably the most painful week in my life trying to set up Multicraft. Everything I have done was really just boring, configuring code, talking to people and spending hours placing signs in the in-game shop, and all of this just took a stupidly long amount of time. However, I think it is all paid off and I have a balanced economy, a good set of plugins, and a fantastic looking and functioning website. I know that most players from TMFaction felt cheated when everything they paid for was lost, because some people spent more than $100 and even if you were there from the start, it's not fair. The server wasn't completely owned by me, and I could say that the server isn't in any way related to TMFaction, and in some ways MadnessMC has nothing to do with TMFaction, but I'd like to think of it as a continuation of that server. Running a server costs lots of money, and I don't have a record of everyone who purchased a rank. I do however have records of all purchases from June last year. What I'm going to do is give anyone who purchased a rank or spent more than $20 on that list a 50% off coupon on their first purchases. It will stack with the server launch sale and will be valid until 1 week after launch. I will be sending emails with the voucher to people on the list. If you have purchased something before then, I still have the PayPal transaction numbers, just not matched to the purchase. So send me an email at MadnessMCNetwork@gmail.com with your Minecraft name, transaction ID, and what you purchased. I'm not worried about any other proof, as people can just Photoshop purchasing something and try and get a free voucher. A major reason why I run my own servers is for a more interesting faction series. The problem I've had in the past is that I was never consistent and never recorded for more than half a season. This is a huge problem and isn't good for me or the people who really enjoy watching them. This problem happened for a lot of reasons, such as stress, schoolwork, and generally getting burnt out. However, this time I will actually have a consistent series and I will be doing it slightly differently. I will be doing 2 faction videos a week. I will try and make them interesting and decently long, roughly 20 to 30 minutes. However, if I run out of time in an episode, instead of skipping an episode, I will just shorten it. This way I will at least have a full season of videos done, even if something crops up. Secondly, I am the most targeted person on the server. People always find me a day after a video comes out, and I always get raided, which of course isn't fun for me or to watch. What I will do for the start of the first season is have a small piece of land outside the border so I can't get raided and can focus on videos. This may seem super overpowered as I am getting an insane advantage, however I simply don't have the time to rebuild my base after every episode. I want to do a good job of running the server and making high quality videos. I think me going solo and my situation is enough to justify this, and I don't want to have to sacrifice time that could be used fixing an urgent bug or getting a video out. I likely won't be raiding often, and if I do, I will likely be on smaller bases or with another faction. So alone I shouldn't affect how the server plays out competitively. Once I get to the stage where I think my base is good enough, I will put it in the main world, and at the latest I will do that in the last week of the season. Also, I will be making a vault in the main world with most of my valuables, so people can still have a chance to raid me but won't completely cripple me. Also, I will be using an alt account to play factions properly and will only have either a player rank or some low donor rank. With my faction series, I want to do more of a redstone twist, where I try and make a high-tech and functional base. This will hopefully be different and more entertaining than regular faction videos, as well as giving people ideas of what they can put in their base. For example, an armor equipper. I will be cannoning, raiding, and PvPing, just probably not as much as building because I live in New Zealand and the server is located in the United States on the East Coast. I have a huge disadvantage where my ping is at least 300 milliseconds, and sometimes PvP can be a laggy mess and getting slaughtered all the time isn't fun to watch. Also, I have taken inspiration from Mumbo Jumbo and have ideas for different sections in the video, such as Q&As talking about the development of the server and various cinematic tropes such as time lapses. One final thing I want to talk about is the future of this channel itself. I've died off the idea of doing CSGO and or other gaming videos and want to focus on Minecraft videos, at least for the rest of the year. I'm in a very happy spot with my main gaming channel and my secondary cinematography channel, so I am only going to make Minecraft videos and vlogs or films on the second channel. In the far future, after Minecraft dies down, I will move on to other games because I have built up this channel over many years and just don't want to leave it. YouTube is a huge part of my life, and I don't see why I can't bring YouTube with me into my adulthood and my future without having to create a new channel when I eventually change games. Either way, we don't have to worry about this for a long time. But if you even vaguely care about this channel or my film channel, they will be around for the next decade on and off. This is my first major MadnessMC update, and I will have another update sometime after the beta with any more important or new information. All the important information and links discussed in this video will be in the description below. If you have any questions, I will be reading them in the comment section, or you can private message me on Twitter at MadnessMC_real. Thanks for sticking with me this long, and I hope you are just as hyped as me for this server.